Hi, welcome to BigHey.com. In this first tutorial I will show you how to check if your e-reader is compatible with Adobe Digital Editions, create an Adobe account, download Adobe Digital Editions, install Adobe Digital Editions, and finally configure the software and the e-reader. Firstly, let's check to see if your device is compatible. Launch a browser and type blogs.adobe.com/digital-publishing/supported-devices. On the screen is a list of compatible e-readers from several manufacturers. For this tutorial we are going to be using the LNX 621EB, which comes with a gigabyte of memory and 7 classic novels pre-installed. Now on to step 2. In your address bar, type in adobe.com and hit enter. In the top right hand corner there is a login button which we're going to click. If you already have an Adobe ID, you can log in with your credentials by entering your Adobe ID in the field marked and your password and click sign in. If you don't have an Adobe ID, don't worry, I'm going to show you how effortless it is to create one. Simply click the Create an Adobe Account button and you're provided with a simple user and address form to submit. So take some time to fill this out and join me once you've finished. Once you've completed the form, navigate to the bottom of your screen and click Continue. If you've entered an incorrect address or an address which Adobe doesn't recognize, you can choose to use the alternative address which Adobe suggests for you, or you can use the address which you've entered yourself. So I'm going to continue by using the address which I've entered. And there we are, we've successfully created an Adobe ID. Click Continue and you're automatically forwarded to your Adobe account. On to the next step, downloading and installing Adobe Digital Editions. In the top right hand corner of the screen there's a search bar. Enter Adobe Digital and one result is returned. Click on Adobe Digital Editions. Once the page is loaded, scroll halfway down and click the Install button. There will be a few prompts on the website asking if you want to continue, and if you're running Windows Vista or Windows 7 and the user access control is enabled, you'll have to click yes a couple of times to allow the program to install correctly. So let's carry on by clicking Install. Once the installation package is downloaded, it will automatically be initiated. The first option you'll be provided with, as is on screen, the installer will ask you what type of shortcuts you wish to place onto the computer. I'm going to continue on by allowing the installation package to install a Start menu shortcut, a desktop shortcut, and quick launch shortcuts. So click Next. The next question the installation package will give you is where do you want to install the program to. So I'm just going to click Install and the program will be installed into my program files. Adobe Digital Edition setup is now completed successfully, so I'm going to go ahead and click Close and the application will be loaded straight away. Setup Assistant pops up on the screen and it asks you to continue on with the activation process, so we're going to click Continue. The Adobe ID which we've just recently set up on adobe.com we're going to enter in here, which will authorize the computer. So let's go ahead and authorize our PCs. Once we've entered our email address and password, we click Activate. And Adobe Digital Editions will attempt to contact the registration servers. Once this is completed, it will either be successful or unsuccessful. This time we were successful and Adobe has been activated. Now click Finish. As you can see, there is now a shortcut for Adobe Digital Editions on our desktop. So let's go ahead and reopen that. So let's just recap. we've downloaded Adobe Digital Editions and installed it. We've also created an adobe.com account, and we've activated our computer with Adobe. So let's click the down arrow box here and click Authorize Computer, which we've already done, and it will show here that we've successfully authorized this PC. Now let's continue the tutorial by attaching our ebook reader to the computer via its USB connection. As previously mentioned, we're using the LNX621EB. Okay, as you can see on the screen, our ebook reader has been activated and the Adobe Digital Edition software is asking to set up our device. So let's go ahead and authorize our device. The device has now been successfully authorized, and Adobe Digital Editions has found that there's 8 items in formats supported by it currently on the device. 7 of these are, like I said earlier, ebooks which we can read. So we've got examples here: Wind in the Willows by Kenneth Grahame, War of the Worlds by H.G. Wells, and a very useful one, the user manual. I hope you found this tutorial educational, and join me in the next one, where I'll be showing you how to download an ebook from bigk.com and get it onto your ebook reader. Thank you.